Yeah, just super excited. So happy for these guys. So happy for this team. They showed resilience and just the way they battled. We sure definitely didn't make it pretty. But hey, we knew it was going to be a battle. We knew it was going to come down to the end, and we knew we had to make those plays. And I tell you what, our team did a great job, and just the effort throughout. Obviously, the first half wasn't pretty at times, but we did a good job going into halftime and kind of holding each other accountable. Everybody took responsibility. Coaches, players. We knew it wasn't our best, and we knew we could play better. And we challenged each other, and I challenged the team. Hey, let's go out there and play the way we can play. And they did, and they didn't. They took their time, chipping away at it. They knew it wasn't going to happen on one play, but I thought the energy. We stayed consistent, and just super proud of the way we just kept playing to the very end.
Coaches, questions for student athletes.
Owen, what is it about the number 47?
I wish I knew, but I guess that's just where the offense gets me. I mean, I said this 2 weeks ago. I just end up wherever the offense ends up. I just do my job whenever I'm there.
Owen, it looks like you just cannot keep from smiling. I know your freshman is a crazy moment for you. I don't know if you know yet, you tied the Dartmouth season record with 15.
Yeah, baby.
We're not even done with the season. We're not even close. Kind of. What is that like? Just take me through the emotion.
I mean, obviously it's exciting. Just getting to even touch your record as a freshman, it's amazing. It's an incredible feeling, but it just means we have more attempts than we've had in previous seasons, and which means I'm getting in the position more often, just making the kicks I get an opportunity to kick.
Charlie, you talk about all the sacks and particularly the strip sack at the end.
Yeah, just felt good today. I knew it before the game. It was going to be a good one. Definitely the whole D-line played well. I was fading in the second and third quarter a little, kind of not playing my best, and Jalen, Rainey, the rest of the D-line picked it up. So they had my back when I needed it, and then I made sure to get them back with a couple sacks.
Jackson, when you enter the game, it just seems like something clicks. Start of the second half, I don't know if you guys knew, but through the first half you were 0 for 10. I know that wasn't really you. On third down conversions, you come and get 2 on that one drive for the touchdown. Take me through what that is.
Yeah, so, I mean, the offense was, they were through it with me through and through, and, the O-line played great, especially in the second half. Same with the receivers. They caught the ball, made plays. Running backs, we took care of the ball, and I think, it was an overall, team win. Obviously, in the first half, it wasn't, pretty, but, we were able to come out, in the end with a win. So, I'm happy about that.
You talk a little bit about the importance of, you're basically coming into the game the number 3 quarterback, the importance of being ready and stepping up for your team.
Yeah, so I, take it upon myself to, prepare each and every week, every day, just to make sure I know, if, that situation does happen, I take advantage of the opportunity. And like I said, I can't, do it without my teammates and, them having faith in me, the coaching staff having faith in me, and, without them, it, wouldn't be possible.
Mistakes almost did get you guys. Anyone can answer this, but I know you do have to clean that up in your next two games. What went wrong, but also talk about composure and how you rebounded from that to still win the game.
I mean, I think composure-wise, we did a really good job just keeping our head down. I know special teams had a great game. They always do. They always perform. And, even though it doesn't, may not go our way, we trust in each other, and, we know what our end goal is, and, we just keep chipping away.
You talk about the importance of getting a rush on Stenstrom because when he had time, he was dangerous.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the best QBs in the Ivy League, and we knew that going in. And we knew if we let him throw the ball, he would be able to do stuff. But our secondary did a great job giving us enough time, and then we were able to help them out. We couldn't do it without the secondary, and definitely helps when we're getting that good pressure. So
get him off his game a little bit. But he's a really good player, so we knew that going in.
Oh, and I'll pry back into that last kick, and you probably don't mind talking more about it. I know it was cold out there today. There was sort of a minute before you got to get up there and actually kick it. Were there nerves? I know you say you're always calm and collected, but I can imagine it was stressful. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't say stressful. I mean, there's always a little bit of nerves, just naturally. It's a pressure situation, but like you said, just staying calm and collected, just doing a couple dry swings, getting ready. You know, a couple people, like pregame, everybody's like, stay quiet, stay locked in. When I get nervous, I talk a lot, and Josh Green can tell you this. I'm chirping in his ear. I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna kick it. And I'm definitely a little more energetic when I get stressed, but I just put that into a good, like just in a good way, and go out and just do my job. Shout out Dylan, shout out Josh, shout out the line, shout out the offense, the usual.
So as a kicker, you know what the situation is, and you guys are getting down close. Do you want the first down, or do you want the opportunity to try that kick?
You know, I want to win the game. So
He
it's
wants
just,
to kick it.
Whatever happens, happens. If we have to kick a field goal, I'll kick a field goal. If we score a touchdown, we win the game. So yeah, I just want to win.
Proctor, for you, I know you threw that beautiful ball to Paxton, I think it was. He dropped it. Seemed like that could have been the end of the game there. Missed opportunity. I know I watched him on the sideline just sort of stalling around by himself. What was your message to him? What's it like to keep the offense, the collective unit, you make mistakes together?
Yeah, so I just told him to keep his head down. When the time was needed, he was going to make a play, and I was behind him. You know, his team was behind him, and right, it was in the past. He just had to put it behind him, and obviously, we won the game. But I think, again, going back to composure, I think as long as we can stay, out of our heads and together and trusting each other, I think we get the job done.
Talk about you're the fifth-year senior. You got a chance for another ring. What are you thinking as this game is winding down and you guys are behind and you know that 3 losses is really tough?
Yeah. I mean, I came back for a reason. I feel like I had unfinished business, especially coming off of last year. And that's why we have a lot of fifth years back. So we came back to win the Ivy League championship. And I mean, even though we were down, I was confident. Our defense picked it up at the end. Our offense picked it up at the end. And then when you got someone like Owen ready to kick it at any time, I mean, I didn't even know how far it was, but I didn't know that was inside his range. But he's been hitting them like that all year. So when you got someone like him, it's hard not to be confident with those situations when you're only down 1, especially.
Yeah. As a fifth year, I know you've had sort of a crazy history with this Princeton team. Been a lot of close games. Just you being in the trenches tonight, playing as well as you did, what was the vibe against him? Is it chirpy down there? Is there animosity between Princeton and Dartmouth? Take me through that.
I don't think there's animosity. I mean, obviously, in the game, it's high intensity. There's going to be a little chirping, a little back and forth, but nothing crazy. I think we do have a lot of respect for each other. We've probably been 2 of the best teams in the Ivy League past 5-10 years. We've shared some titles with them. We've beaten them in some big games to win the title. They've beaten us in some big games to win the title. So, I mean, every year we know it's going to be a big game against them. And luckily this year we were able to come out with the wins.
You make a quarterback switch to start the game. You make a quarterback switch to start the second half. Talk a little bit about having to manage that part of the game.
Yeah, we just we made the decision with Dylan going into the game that he was going to start the game, and we felt like he gave us the best chance to be productive, and some things didn't go the way we were hoping for. We know we need going at halftime. I told the offense we need a spark, we need something, and so we said we got to put Proctor out there, and let's see if we can get something rolling. And I was happy for him, excited for him, and expectation was that he was going to go out there and do that, and that's exactly what he did. And he's done that all year, just always on, always ready, and always prepared. And he does a great job. It's not the game; it's what he does all week, preparing himself for those opportunities.
Coach, so this was not exactly a pretty game. I know it ended in your favor, but I feel like if you did that 9 times out of 10, I mean, Princeton made the same mistakes, but typically don't win games with that many mistakes. Talk about
Yeah,
those
yeah,
mistakes.
yeah. We know. We felt like in the first half, we were hurting ourselves, obviously. So, you think about the positive, try to find the bright spot about it. And I told our team at halftime. I said, hey, we're the ones that are stopping ourselves. We're the ones that are putting ourselves in bad situations. It's not them that's creating that or causing that. And so we just got to take a deep breath. We've got to calm down and take one play at a time, and we've got to fix those issues. And we challenged them. Got on them a little bit, got on the staff a little bit. But hey, we got to get going here. Let's refocus and let's go. And I thought everybody, staff and players, did a good job of coming out that second half. And we made mistakes in the second half. But I think what they did a good job was they didn't panic, they didn't freak out about it. Let's just keep going. Let's fix it, and let's get the next chance we get. Let's go make the most of it.
Talk about the fake punt in the first half. Well, the fake punt period.
Yeah. No, it was. Guys always bust my chops because I always talk about it and work on it, and they say you're never going to do it, coach. So I didn't even tell the staff. I just told the punt team, and so we went out there, and the guys did a really good job. They lined up pretty much what we thought they were going to, and we've repped it enough. And our guys, I tell you what, they performed it perfectly, and it was a big play for us.
And the field goal block, do you know who got it?
No, I'm not positive on that.
Did you have the block on?
Yeah. We always say, we have some sort of. There's always a block, just depending on where we come from. But yeah, they did a good job penetration-wise, and obviously Sean did a great job scooping that thing and going. We just, once again, we can't block in the back that far back like that. It's not. We just can't do that.
Coach Sean Williams was the spark right at the start of the pick six. He could have been sitting up here if that blocked field goal return hadn't had a block in the back. But talk about just his performance stepping up. I think that's his third interception of the year.
Yeah, he's done a great job. Sean. And the good thing about Sean is that he doesn't get too high. He doesn't get too low. He doesn't allow things to get him down. And he's done a very good job of getting better each week. And but yeah, once again, like I've said before, he just has that natural ability. He's just a gamer, and he has very good instincts. And but yeah, he's a guy that can definitely give you a spark, especially when you need it. And he did that tonight a couple times.
3:15 on third down. Did you win the game?
It's been one of those years. You sometimes don't get caught up on the stats. Stats don't match the final score. That's for sure. Got to have better, though. Got to have better.
Talk about the league situation now. There's only 2 games left. Probably okay to talk about the scenarios at this point. Still not.
Nope. Next week, Cornell.
How does it feel to have a kicker this year? I know the past few years you guys have struggled. You would not have won this game without Owen. What's it like? And I know Princeton's team also struggles with a kicker. What's it like this year to be sort of at the forefront of the Ivy League in terms of kicking ability?
Well, it's nice to have that weapon. You know what I mean? He's done a phenomenal job for us all year, and it allows you to do some things, calling plays and whatnot, and be a little bit more strategic. And we knew, I knew going in this game that every point was going to matter. It was going to be one of those games, and we talked about that. Hey, let's get in range. Let's how to give him an opportunity to give us 3, and we'll take that when we can. And he did. He came through every single time. But you could just hear the guys talk about him. It's just the confidence from the entire team. When you get in that range, they all know we've got him. He's a weapon. He's been huge for us.
How about the importance of your pass rush? Because Stenstrom was.
Yeah.
There were people running free on occasion.
Yeah. I tell you what, our D-line did a great job. And we play a number of guys, and every one of those guys who went out there performed. They played out. They played 100%. And obviously there was a couple plays that we probably could have done better, but it had nothing to do with effort. And I really thought our D-line and our entire defense really played with a lot of energy, and we were in attack mode the whole time. And very proud of the way they performed.
I don't know about you. I wrote down all the bad snaps and fumbles and everything else. Do you have it all in your head, or are you gonna?
That'll stay there all night too. You think about it was one of those where it's just one thing after another, especially into that second quarter. it was, but we just told our guys, you can't panic, you can't freak out, and you got to weather the storm. You definitely don't want too many of those storms, but we've got to do it better. We got to clean that stuff up. We just can't put ourselves in a bad situation. But once again, the resilience of battling back and forgetting about it and moving on, I was very impressed.
Coach, Princeton declined to interview tonight with us. I know you can't talk about what their mindset is, but what does that tell you about how they feel about this one, or how they're approaching a loss?
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough loss. I'm sure it is. I mean, they're in the hunt as well, and hats off to them. And they played their butts off. They're a very good football team, and obviously they had their opportunities in their mind probably to close that game out and win. And those are tough. Those are tough losses. And
Were you surprised they went for that as long a field goal as they did with a kicking game that has had some struggles?
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, obviously they're thinking right there, hey, they get some points there, it makes it even tougher on us, and forces us to have to think that we'd have to score a touchdown after that. So I think that's their thought process is, hey, we're going to make them have to go down the whole field and score a touchdown. So obviously their options were probably a little limited there, and they had to make a decision, and that's what they went with.
We talked earlier in the week about the importance of getting out in front. What can you say about that part of your game?
Yeah, but it was huge. You could just see the energy on you could feel the energy on our sideline when that happened, and jumping out 10-0. You kind of wish, hey, you probably could have had a chance. Maybe could have been 14-0 there if we hit that down in the end zone. But yeah, you definitely want to get out front. You don't want to be in a chase mode, especially early in the game. And we forced them to have to chase. Obviously, they took the lead, and so we were kind of in reverse roles there. But yeah, it's always helpful to really be able to come out. And I think it was just the energy level. Our team came out ready to play.